gentlemen, Happy New Year! Welcome one and all to FPW Championship Wrestling, our weekly broadcast that went from nothing to something. And you are watching the very first match of the 2017 FPW Tornado Tag Team Championship Grand Tournament. And this is that British Invasion's Robert English, Shane Eaton McKay versus the Granddaddies of Wrestling, King Matrix and Stone Wall. Now, what is this grand tournament, you might ask yourselves? Just to inform you guys, just to refresh your memories, back at Blood, Sweat, and Tears, I had announced that there was going to be a big tournament, a large tournament that will take up the entire 2017 calendar. The entire 2017 FPW calendar to determine who will compete for the FPW Tornado Tag Team Championships. Now, also, the Supreme Team defeated, in case you haven't watched it yet, I'll just tell you right now, the Supreme Team have defeated Kane and Mankind in an awesome and brutal fashion. They have got themselves back into the tournament, and they're going to meet up against the team that beat them in the first place way back in November, Black Wrestling League's Blacketeer and Pumpkin Escobar. That match will happen at some point down the line, but these teams, I'm talking about teams we've never seen before. Teams that are just invented. I'm talking about the NES Club. I'm talking about Fortune Enterprises. Steve Fortune has actually hired someone to work with him. And if you have noticed on YouTube or in the Video Game Wrestling Network Facebook page, I conduct FPW news updates, and I had mentioned there was a Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, there was a bit of a weird technical difficulty moments ago during the match. We have lost about a minute and a half, and I guess I've been rambling for that minute and a half, not knowing that we had technical problems. But since we're back on the air and all the equipment's in tip-top shape, I'm going to resume what I was going to say. We had mentioned a superstar named Don Capelli. He is one of Steve Fortune's hired men, correct? Well, the thing is, we've given Don Capelli this chance because he has replaced Kibwe Suriba. Kibwe has been given $500,000. $500,000! He took the money and he literally ran. But we had wished him farewell on his future endeavors. It just was not a good fit. And now Kibwe Suriba is gone home, back to Swahili. And Don Capelli from Italy is here in FPW and will be competing in the tournament at some point in time. Should be very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Should be very interesting indeed. Especially the fact that these two teams have fought before in the past. British Invasion, Granddaddies of Wrestling. Almost a count of three, Shane Eaton McKay almost won the match by pinning Stonewall, the father of both the K. Wyatt and Vicious Jeremy. Blood, Sweat, and Tears already available for your own viewing pleasure on YouTube and the Video Game Wrestling Network. It was a hell of a pay-per-view event. The biggest one by far, the most exciting one of all, especially the dream match. Sting and The Undertaker. Sting busted up Taker real bad. A 51, near 52-year-old Taker got busted up real bad. He got about a few stitches, I think. Somewhere on like near like on the top of his head, like on the cranium part. He has now a bald spot. Hair will not grow back there anymore. But Sting busted up Taker real bad. But a much older Sting. 57, 58-year-old Sting competing in at the grandest stage of them all. Blood, sweat, and tears. Lost by a big boot. A big boot to the face. And Sting could not pop his shoulder. He could not kick out of The Undertaker. But you know, I'll never forget the fact that Sting tossed Taker off the cell. That happened. Taker fell chest first on the barricade. It was nasty. But then you know what? Taker put Sting through the cell. Maybe not once, but I think twice. And Sting is older. Sting has had many bloody battles. Hell, both Sting and Taker have had many bloody battles. But the one thing that really caught my attention was the fact that Taker did the tombstone pile driver and the early goings of the match, and I could have sworn it was all over. We never see the full complete package. Tombstone and the darkness pin. We've never seen that. So I figure, hey, this is it. Taker is going to beat Sting right here in that very moment.
1, 2.
Almost 3. Almost a count of 3. Shane Eaton McCain fighting a good battle here tonight.
2.
So is Stonewall. I could have sworn that was all over too. Already about 8 minutes in this matchup and it's getting really interesting. Absolutely unbelievable. Oh, look at this. The Cobra Clutch. The $1 Million Dream. Look at that beautiful save from Stonewall. Saving King Matrix's neck. Literally his neck. That was the $1 Million Dream or the Cobra Clutch. I thought it was all over, and you know what the funny thing is? King Matrix has more attributes, more points in his attributes than anybody else in this ring. That is for certain. So for Robert English, a man who actually lost miserably, humiliatingly by Urethra Brown a few months back, Robert English is due for a victory. Oh, brass knuckles to the skull of Matrix. A very unique form of a double team. Jeez Louise. Fast-paced, action-packed tonight, ladies and gentlemen, here on Championship Wrestling. The very first match of the Grand Tournament. Soup and Sandwich are still the reigning, defending FPW Tornado Tag Team Champions. And you know what? The very last broadcast, our very last Championship Wrestling broadcast, we saw almost the demise of Soup and Sandwich. It was almost over. But somehow, some way, Vicious Jeremy and Cactus Jim managed to pull it off. Pull out the victory and retain the championships off of the Brotherhood, the K. Wyatt and Alberto Sanchez. No team has ever been able to beat them.